My story starts in late 2017. For some crazy reason, I started getting a little bit of a sore throat, and then later I started passing out. I was having what was called syncope events. The doctors I would go to kept looking at the heart. I was going to cardiologists, and I was getting Holter monitors and all kinds of other tests, and then I'd go back to my primary and they would do ultrasounds and we couldn't find anything. And so I'd do a run of antibiotics and I'd come back and I'd say, that didn't work, what else have you got? The emergency room doctors were doing x-rays of my chest and looking at my heart and trying to figure out what was going wrong and not finding anything. This time they sent it out to the radiologist, and thank heavens that one radiologist looked enough at my x-ray to notice that my trachea was bending out of shape. In words, he was slapping doctors' faces and said, would you look at this? Look, this man has a huge mass in his chest, probably lymphoma. That's fun news to get a contrite doctor calling me back and saying, oh, we finally figured out what it is. So I paid for the PET scan out of pocket. And when that came back, I was lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like stage 4. I had cancerous lymphoma nodules in all kinds of different places. The oncologists starting to put me through, it was basically a standard regimen. We're going to start you on prednisone. We're pretty sure this is lymphoma. We're going to start you on a particular chemo. The red lights started going off when some of the folks that I was being referred to started me down a path that, for me, was full of assumptions and was expecting me to just take it all at face value. This is lymphoma, and for lymphoma, we do this. For some people, they take it all at face value. It's like, oh God, doctor, let's just get this out of me, whatever you say. But for some of us, I don't know, I think I'd like to understand a little more about this than get in the ride, here we go. It's on a track and you're not changing it. My wife was doing her own research and found the Nagorny Cancer Institute. What they offered to do was take my biopsy and take it into a laboratory and actually test it against different chemo regimens. Because chemo is just a catch-all word. It's basically a cocktail of different chemicals that they combine based on what kind of cancer you've got. He was able to explain the process and invoke the process in a manner that seemed so much more tailored to us and me and what particular thing was growing inside me. I was able to get a report back that basically determined that my lymphoma would respond to a chemo cocktail that was less aggressive on my body than what everybody else was suggesting. According to what they ran in their lab against my actual biopsy tissue, they were able to determine that my outcome would be better. Using Dr. Nagorny makes you feel like you have a greater sense of control. You get more information than probably you would understand, but you get more information about what's actually growing in here. They offer the kinds of services that other places don't. I mean, to have them take your biopsy and take it into a lab and give it a bench test against all kinds of different treatments and come back with a report that basically identifies the layout and mechanics of your cancer to a point where they know exactly what regimen would work the best for it, even before you sit down for your first chemo session. For those of us that want to take control and learn more about what we've got and how to treat it, the Nagorny Cancer Institute is vital for that.